over a lengthy period of time. So when Jesus in the story finds out about this close friend of his, Lazarus, who has died, he comes to the village to console Martha and Mary. So notice that he comes over to let them know that he's in solidarity with their feelings of sadness. And then in the reading, he will also be overcome with his own grief, and then he weeps. And watch what happens when he gets to the tomb of Lazarus. Lazarus has been dead for 4 days. In the Jewish culture at that time, it was believed that after your heart stopped beating, your spirit lingered for about 3 days. So when they say, Martha will mention in the reading, that Lazarus has been dead for 4 days, his spirit is gone, he's definitely dead. So watch what happens when Jesus gets to the tomb. When Mary came to where Jesus was and saw him, she fell at his feet and said to him, "Lord, if you had been here, my brother would not have died." When Jesus saw her weeping, and the Jews who had come with her weeping, he became perturbed and deeply troubled, and said, "Where have you laid him?" They said to him, "Sir, come and see." And Jesus wept. So the Jews said, "See how he loved him." But some of them said, "Could not the one who opened the eyes of the man born blind have done something so that this man would not have died?" So Jesus, perturbed again, came to the tomb. It was a cave, and a stone lay across it. Jesus said, "Take away the stone." Martha, the dead man's sister, said to him, "Lord, by now there will be a stench. He has been dead for 4 days." Jesus said to her, "Did I not tell you that if you believe, you will see the glory of God?" So they took away the stone. And Jesus raised his eyes to heaven and said, "Father, I thank you for hearing me. I know that you always hear me. But because of the crowd here, I have said this, that they may believe that you sent me." And when he had said this, he cried out in a loud voice, "Lazarus, come out of the tomb of death." The dead man came out, tied hand and foot with burial bands, and his face was wrapped in a cloth. So Jesus said to them, "Untie him and let him go." Now many of the Jews who had come to Mary and seen what he had done began to believe in him. The Gospel of the Lord.
Praise the Lord Christ.